Hi, my name's Fran and this is The Creative's Edge. I am the owner and director of Lelo Living, which is a homewares brand, and I've run creative businesses my entire adult life. And I'm here to teach you all the things that I've learned from that to hopefully make it easier for you to get whatever creativity that is inside you out and in front of people. We upscaled our business really quickly because we sold during lockdown and went from a tiny room up to what is now a 5,000 square foot unit warehouse. That itself has happened across 2 years, but the first big upscale happened really quickly because during lockdown we grew and doubled in turnover month on month. The volume that we had to send out doubled too, and we ended up 12 times the size of our company in 6 to 8 months. And in order to do that, we had to be really on top of supply. That was the number one thing that has really allowed us to grow that quickly, is be on top of supply and anticipate problems like that before they even happen, so that you can put things in place and be constantly looking at the new thing, because whilst you're getting over the viral product, say, and getting that out there, the next product needs to be in development so that you can continue that trend, and that trend doesn't just stop after the first thing, or the first hurdle doesn't stop you. You're going to continue looking next, and what's the future going to look like. We realised we had to upscale a location on one particular day, because I remember it, because 4 pallets of products turned up in my driveway at the same time and had to go into my house before it rained. And I realised that no one can fit 4 pallets worth of, not small pallets either, full height pallets. And we had to find that space in our house, and suddenly we couldn't move. And we have a larger than average house because we live with my mum and my mother-in-law, so we've got a bit more space than the average person, but no one can fit that amount of stuff in. And no one should fit that amount of stuff in, because it starts impinging on your life. So at that point, and also it starts impinging on your ability to create the next thing, and your ability to create things efficiently as well. There's no efficiency when you're like wading through boxes, and that immediately made us think, well, we need to go somewhere else and have this out of our life, so that we can have even the mental headspace to deal with the next thing, but also the physical space to create it. When you get a business space, no matter the size of that business space, there's always a worry. It's like having children. You never stop worrying after you've got a business space that you can fund it, and that you've made the right choice sometimes. Even now, I worry every day because there are costs associated with things. What if the roof caved in? That's a stupid thought, but that thought will occur at some point. That everything becomes a worry, but it's also freeing because we have space to play here and space to think of new things, and it's freeing to have that opportunity as well. What's a worry and a responsibility is also an opportunity. We were really slow to take on team members, and that was probably quite a big mistake of ours. We did a lot of it in-house anyway because we had the family doing things, and we did sort of push things off to people that maybe should have pushed back and said, you know what, I'd like to go out instead of packing 20,000 products, please. But also there's a mental block with paying staff, and to knowing that you can have sufficient flow of products and things, and sufficient flow through the whole business to be able to keep going with it. And there is always a worry about that, but again, it's more freeing to have the person than it is to have the money at the end of it. So it's actually something we should have done much sooner, and it allows you to grow so much quicker if you hand off the things that take you a long time, that maybe you're not particularly good at. For instance, I hate accounting, I'm terrible at it, I really should have handed that off immediately. And the admin things that sort of suck the life out of you, especially if it's like talking to customers, that's a real one where you need someone else to deal with problems with customers, because that's something that if you're a creative person especially, and you're not a particularly confident creative person, it just makes you much less confident and saps your energy, and that's energy that could be going into making the products better, making new products, and taking your business forward. And so that's one of the things that really we should have done sooner, and I probably would have had a much smoother process if I'd have done it a bit sooner. A really big thing for us actually getting out of the house was having better work-life balance. When you run your business and you love your business, you run it all the time and you're never off. And when it's at home, you're never off ever, even when you're at home, because it's in your life. Whereas now we've got much clearer boundaries, and we have specific times that we go to the unit to work, and that's segregated it a bit better. You have that kind of segregation when you work for someone else, and you don't think about it when you work for yourself. But actually it's just as important, and it's just as important for your mental health and your sanity to have that time away and to not worry about things. I mean, it's much easier to do that when it's over there and the door's shut than when it's in your house.